right, we are going. We are off to the races. Leah Faston, what's happening?
Kyle Shannon, hello, hello.
Welcome,
so Kyle,
everybody.
I wanna have a moment. So I'm a fastidious journaler, right? I journal like I'm a fastidious. I journal a lot, and it was 2 years ago yesterday that we had our first phone conversation.
Was it really?
That we had a conversation that said, "Hey, let's do the salon."
Yeah, you pinged me and you said, my friend Chris said I should talk to you. And I was like,
Yep.
okay, let's talk.
Yep. And that was 2 years ago. I was like, oh.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to share that with you in the salon.
Yeah.
Yeah, how are you?
Amazing.
Yeah.
I'm good. I've been pretty open about my existential challenges with AI recently. and I think in some way I want to open up the conversation tonight a bit, but I feel like I am accepting of the fact that I got seduced by the next shiny object syndrome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've forgotten the wonder of what we have in our hands right now. And so I'm actually kind of re-inspired to go back to stuff that I haven't looked at in a while and dig deeper. You were talking about earlier, you mentioned like you feel like part of the art of AI is getting to point you can be self-expressed, right?
Yeah.
That you can express yourself. And what I know to be the case in all technologies and all tools is that until you internalize the tool, you can't really get there. So if you're just skimming across the surface of the next new thing and the next new thing, you never go deep enough to really get to that point. And so I'm at the point of acceptance. I don't think I've fully, gone deep on anything, but that's kind of where I am.
I love that you say that, because I think sometimes, especially as the founder of the AI Salon, people keep asking me like things about AI, and I have no idea. I'm like, well, I know how to do a very specific thing with AI, and that's kind of it. And I think that there is this pressure that that we need to know everything, and we want to know everything and see everything that comes out, and we don't need to do that. Like right. That's not like, in fact, I think AI is a lot more interesting when we really get to know a tool, and when that tool we're able to use that tool to translate our own vision and our own ideas. And it makes it easier to do, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's, AI is also, if we assume that where AI is going is effectively where the internet went, where it's going to become this ubiquitous fabric that's part of everything we do. So you can't master it. Like, that's something I think we've all talked about, is that it's too big and moving too fast to master. But it's like, if it's just going to be everywhere, then I think it comes down to, well, what do you actually care about? And where do you actually want to dig deep and things like that? And so that feels like a transition for me, but it's weird being in that transition space.
Well, where is it you want to dig deep?
I don't know yet.
Okay. All right.
I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Maybe around filmmaking, but I have a story in my head that filmmaking is too hard, takes too much time, and it doesn't work with my ADD bullshit. But now that we can move faster with AI, maybe I go there.
Yeah, or maybe you do something that's inspired by filmmaking but turns into something else.
Yeah, well, that's my whole current company is I was too lazy to do editing, so I invented a company to do it for me.
Yeah, I mean, AI can help with that for sure. I think that's the hardest thing, is knowing where we want to go deeper with something. Knowing when it's like, knowing that there is something we can go much deeper with, but now we need to learn how to get there. I find that with a lot of tools that aren't image based with AI, I land there, like with like Claude or with ChatGPT, and like I know I can do so much more, and it's like I'm here and I don't know how to get from here to there, which is why we have a salon.
Yeah, well, it is. I think it's why it's important to hang out with people that are curious about stuff too. Like one of the other areas I've been thinking about is programming. Like, I know enough about programming to do it, but there's certain areas where I just have like giant gaps of knowledge, and I know AI can fill that gap, but I still don't go there because of that. The sort of remnants of the shame and fear of like, I'm not a good programmer. Right? So So anyway, welcome to the AI Salon, everybody. Tonight is a meet and greet, so we'll all get to know each other, and there's a lot of familiar faces here. So we've got some fun questions for all of us to share some knowledge, which I'm really excited about. If you're new to the salon, or if you just need a reminder, this journey to AI literacy is we feel really important. And that idea of play first and then mindfully create and generously lead, giving yourself permission to not be great at something, and do it publicly, do it, learn out loud, and be willing to do that, and be willing to maybe not know everything, not know the newest and shiniest, and just be willing to get good at something. And how you do that, the only way to get there right now is to play and explore, and you'll get there faster if you do it with other people. So that's that. One of the other things that we talk about here at the salon is our values. So even if you've been here before, I think it's important to remind ourselves, who we are. So Leah, would you do me the kind favor of
Yes,
our values?
I will. Okay. What we value: curiosity. We are eager to ask the obvious questions, learn new things, and experiment. Our relentless quest for adventure and exploration ignites our inner spark, transforming our curiosity into unexpected discoveries and newfound passions.
Mm-hmm.
Playfulness. We value creativity, joy, and the freedom to experiment. We play first and transform learning into a captivating journey. We collaborate and mindfully create together when we can to learn more, to make friends, and develop new circles of trust. Remember, all work and no play is how we did things before the salon. And I think that is very appropriate for the conversation we just had, Kyle.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like I think I had new discovery tied to curiosity and play that I can't play if it's not new, and that's not the case.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, empathy. We are respectful, inclusive, and kind. We value diverse perspectives, recognizing that our differences make us stronger. We accept that people might be afraid and angry, and we work to understand them. We'll say that again this week. We accept that people might be afraid and angry, and we work to understand them. Mm-hmm. I think we could all use that this week. Yep. We actively practice gratitude and acknowledge the efforts and successes of those around us. Humans matter. Wow, that one feels really appropriate right now. Bravery. We have the courage to step into the unknown, taking bold actions in the face of fear and challenging ourselves to push the boundaries of what we thought possible. Let's face it, with everything changing as fast as it is, we're all making this up as we go along anyway. We might as well be brave about it. And generosity. We are willing to share our resources, feedback, and wisdom with others and support each other's growth and development. There's so much happening and so much to learn. We can't possibly keep up with it all. Understand that even if something is obvious to you, it might be a profound revelation to someone else. Learn out loud, share what you know, generously lead.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
those are good ones. The bravery one, that's one, I feel like that's one that's going to get really important as we move into 2025 and AI tools get significantly more capable than any of us. Not getting overwhelmed by that, not getting intimidated by that, I think is a big one. And I think if you if you let yourself be curious and playful, and just take action, then it will sort of manifest as bravery. But I think just being willing to step in and do it is actually huge, especially as these tools get better.
Yep, I agree.
Cool. Thank you for doing that.
Sure.
The other thing that I wanted to share, I wanted to acknowledge. So on the call here, we've got Liz Miller-Gershfeld, and she heads up our content strategy here. But also, I don't know if you noticed in the AI Salon and Mighty Networks, we've got all these cool, groovy new icons. And I actually I put them over on a page here. And Liz curated these icons, found a really cool set, and went through and figured out which icons could go with each of the areas. And in the Start Your Adventure, she did these super cool numbers and came up with the coloring scheme and just the really beautiful thing. So Liz, first, I just want to acknowledge you and thank you for the work, because it was not a small task. We had a lot of different spaces, but I'm just curious if you want to share any thoughts about what you thought about and how you did it, because I think they just look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Well, I mean, we decided to find the icons from an artist. So they were created by an artist, and we took care of the artist appropriately, and then just the look of it, it was just sort of going for something that had kind of, I don't know, a simplicity, a little bit of a postmodern vibe, hopeful for the future. That's kind of what it gave me, and that's what the salon gives me a sense of. So that's, thank you.
Yeah, beautiful. Fantastic. So thank you. They look great. And then, continuing, here are some more of the icons in the guild. So if we've got any guild leaders on the call, just go ahead and talk about your guild. So if you're new here, guilds are sub-communities within the salon where, people that are passionate about different things, they're grouped into these 4 broad categories: creative, technology, business, and impact, social impact. So if anyone is here that runs a guild or is in guild leadership and wants to talk up their sub-community, their activities, now is your shot. So just raise your hand or just jump in.
I'll just jump in real quick. We have started a journal and prompt, sort of as part of the Creative Guild, and offering generally on Mondays and Thursdays mornings, although this week it'll be Monday and Wednesday mornings, and next week it'll be Monday and Wednesday. And we get together, it's a half hour. We do a half hour written journal prompt, when we then take insights from that 10-minute journal prompt, and we do a creative spark to start the day. Generally with prompt crafting. And we are into our 2nd week of doing that. And I have to say, we've made some really remarkable work so far. So please join us. You can find it in the events at 10 a.m. East Coast time, 7 a.m. West Coast time.
Nice. Joy Purdy.
So I co-host the Ethics Guild with Vicky. And our guild has been quite quiet lately. I just wanted to let people know I do have feelers out for speakers. The one I'm hoping to get is actually a woman that does film. She just did a AI film for a Grammy Award-winning music artist. So I don't know. I'm just waiting to hear back from people, and I didn't want anybody to think that we're not working on things.
Beautiful. Anybody else? Claire Jacobs.
Hey guys. Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Super. I can never tell. I'm with not a full guild, but we're close. We're like a wannabe guild, but better, much better. We're the AI
know
life
around
hack.
this place.
We're number 2, so we try harder. Is that Avis or what was the other one? I don't know.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know, that was pretty good. I think it was Avis, yeah.
So the AI Life Hacks Club is co-hosted by Brandon and me, and it's an awesome group. We meet tomorrow, Wednesday. It's always the Wednesday after the salon meets, and everybody's welcome to come, share your ideas, sit and absorb. And we've just started, the process of recording the meetings. We didn't record the last one, but I believe that we did the one before. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be posted somewhere. Anyway, so if you're interested in learning like how people are using AI and some of the cool things that they've figured out AI can do for them, come and join in.
Beautiful.
Oh, and can I say one more really fast thing?
Yeah, please.
Okay, this is not AI life hacks, but Suno just released version 4, and I believe it's up and running.
It is. It's one of the news items I got coming. So
sorry.
Well, no, that's good. No, that means people are excited. No, it's exciting. It's really good. It's really good. Awesome. Kelly Camp.
Hi, I'm Kelly, and I co-host the Business Guild with Bradley Perkins, and we meet every other Thursday at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern. And our next meeting is scheduled to be on Thanksgiving night. I'm going to take a poll to see if we're actually meeting, but I know that I may need a break from my family that night.
So you might do it. Oh, that's what it should be. We're not going to talk about business. This is just an excuse.
Yeah,
for you to
it's
get
like,
away
oh,
from
I'm
your
so
family.
sorry. I have a meeting I have to get to.
That's really good.
But no, our meetings have been great. We talk about how we're using ChatGPT and other large language models specifically in our everyday business. And I have to tell you, it's not a huge group, but I've gotten so much from just hearing how other people are using the tools. So I'd really love to build this group up. It's really great. Everybody gets a chance to talk. So if you haven't been, please join us on Thursday, the night of Thanksgiving.
Fantastic. Beautiful. Anyone else on the guild front? Okay, let me share my screen again here. Thank you, guild leaders. Okay, so next December 3rd, the first Tuesday in December, believe it or not, is the salon's second anniversary. So we started this the week after ChatGPT came out. That was our first meeting. And here's my request. My request is put it in your calendar now. And my request is also reach out to any lost saloners or adventurers that you remember coming to meetings before you haven't seen in a while. I'd love to get a bunch of people back. What we've done is we've invited back speakers over the past 2 years to come back and update us on where they are. So we've got that. Kath and I are talking tomorrow. We might have an additional speaker, depending on how many speakers are coming back. We might have a new speaker. But our 2-year anniversary is coming up. I will just say this: at the first anniversary, we had a first anniversary special design T-shirt that was very popular, but it was time limited, and people were pissed that they didn't get it in time. So I'm going to let you know now. Leah and Liz have been working on something, and I think you're going to be really excited about what they put together. So I'm excited about that. So plan to get your second anniversary T-shirt, but let's get as many people there as we can. I'd love to see some familiar faces back in the salon. All right, bring friends, bring anyone you want. Let's see, couple other things to tee up for you. We're going to be launching in anticipation of the event of the anniversary, and as we're coming into the end of the year, Vicki has put together a survey for anyone in the salon to tell us what's working, what's not, what do you want to see more of, what do you want to see less of, what are your ideas to improve it. So that's going to be going out if not this week, early next week. And it'll probably run, what do you think, Vicki, through kind of just before Christmas, something like that?
It would help if I turned my mic on. Yeah, I think we said like halfway through December, and it will go out this week.
Okay, great. So please take the time to do that. It's not short, but it's not super long. Probably take you 10 minutes. Most of the answers are like multiple choice. So it's just like clicking. There's a couple where you give us your thoughts, but that's really important. The other thing I would encourage you to think about, we're really looking, part of the input we want is for how guilds work and even maybe what we call them, things like that. And there's been an idea floating around that Cindy Kuhn has experimented with a little bit, and I think we're going to adopt, and that is the idea of 4-week sprints. And right now our working name for them is pop-ups. But the idea of a pop-up is, rather than having to commit to running a guild, if you just want to do a short little 4-week thing, the salon will host that for you and promote that for you, and let you build a little micro community over a short 4-week sprint where you can teach something or do something together or talk or whatever it is, learn something together. So just think about, like, it's not official yet, it's something we're kicking around, but just start thinking about things you might want to do that could live in that. If you've got something, if you want to practice your leadership skills, get things out there, I think that could be really good. All right, good. Any thoughts, questions on that? Leah, can you believe it's been 2 years?
I can't believe it's been 2 years.
I know, it's crazy.
I can't believe it's been 2 years. I kind of also, the same way, also feel like I can't remember when there wasn't an AI salon.
Exactly.
Look, I can't believe 3 years ago we weren't doing an AI salon. So on the one hand, it's 2 years. On the other hand, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah, there used to be a time you actually had to write your own emails. That time has passed.
That's right.
All right, so let's get into some news. So Claire teed us up. Suno V4 is out. It part of what they advertised it as is it would do standalone spoken voices. I haven't quite figured that out yet, but it is much more musically clear. One of the things that bugged me about Suno songs is they all sounded like T-Pain. They were also super auto-tuney. That seems to be improved. You can also remaster older version, songs that were created in version 2 and version 3, and upgrade them into version 4. We've been working on that on the musical I'm working on. It's pretty good. And as a little bonus and a little sneak peek of the 2-year anniversary meeting, I made us a song. So this is going to be the world premiere of whatever the hell song this is that I made for us. So here we go.
2 years have passed since we began this quest, with curiosity lighting our way. In the realm of AI, we found our nest, exploring new horizons every day. Happy birthday, AI! Salon to you, a community where ideas flow. With playful hearts and minds so true. Together, there's no limit to how far we'll go. Empathy guides us as we learn and grow, embracing diverse perspectives with care. Bravery leads us where others won't go, venturing into the unknown we dare. Happy birthday, AI! Salon to you, a community where ideas flow. With playful hearts and minds so true. Together, there's no limit to how far we'll go. Generosity fuels our shared endeavor, sharing knowledge. We lift each other high. Oh, mindfully creating now and forever. Unity we reach for the sky. Happy birthday, AI. Salon to you, a community where ideas flow. With playful hearts and minds so true. Together, there's no limit to how far we'll go.
Wow. So Kyle, I was just in Chicago and I stayed at a Airbnb right in the neighborhood where a lot of John Hughes's movies were shot.
Uh-huh.
And for those of you who, I think there's a lot of people about my age here, but our age here, but John Hughes was like Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club. And I feel like this song and that experience of staying right near those houses and seeing those houses, it's all coming together for me.
This is I totally if you're like, I was going for Cheesy's 80 cover band vibe. Like I had like 10 minutes to make it. So
I love it. Yeah.
anyways.
It was reminding me of like 1986 maybe. It's
Yeah, yeah,
5 degrees today.
exactly. Yeah, it was just pre Van Halen, right? Like
That's right.
Van Halen like made it real, but these were the bands that didn't quite make it.
Yeah, I love it.
That was the vibe I was going for. Anyway, like go play with it. If you've not played with Suno in general, it's something you should play with. Now with 4.0, it's quite remarkable. Couple other things that I think are worth pointing out news-wise. OpenAI, there's big things coming. Last week they launched in the Mac app. It can now interact with other applications. They're programming applications, so it can interact with text edit and terminal and Xcode and one other programming thing. But they'll probably keep expanding that. But it's pretty amazing that you can, be asking ChatGPT a question about what's going on in this other application. It doesn't yet actually communicate directly with it. It can see it and tell you what's going on, but then you have to sort of deal with it. So they're taking baby steps in terms of autonomous agents. It sounds like O1, the real version of O1, the multimodal version, is going to be released this week or next. I don't know. Like that's been rumored to be coming for the past month or so, and it hasn't. So I wouldn't necessarily hold your breath, but it seems like there's rumblings. They did say that autonomous agents are coming out in January, and they're calling them operators. And those are going to be agents that allow you to do stuff on the web. Go book me a travel. Go book me a trip, and this agent will go off and do all the work to book you a trip. And then Orion, which we think is GPT-5, is sometime in early 2025. So I don't really know. There were a lot of kind of, I don't know if there were rumors. There was an article put out about how all of the frontier companies have hit a wall where the large language models just aren't working right. And everyone's hit a wall, and we've hit a wall, and it's never going to get any better. And then a lot of the founders of those frontier companies came out and said, there's no wall. So we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, again, the thing that I'm recommitting myself to is let's play with the stuff we have in our hands right now, because it's still quite remarkable. And to Leah's point, to do good work with a tool, you have to really know how to use that tool. On the open source front, Mixtral and Pixtral multimodal models came out, and Qwen 2.5 Turbo came out, and they're all like, all of them are like, we're as good as ChatGPT 4 and whatever. Qwen has a 1 million word token context window, so that's pretty amazing. And then the last two little news items that I thought would be good. One was this idea that 11 Labs has launched this new thing where you can create customizable AI agents and then tailor the responses to align with your brand voice. So you can upload, you can do like a custom GPT and upload data to it. But let me change my sharing here and share that tab. Is that that? No, that was that. That's that.
Yeah, the thing is, we want.
Hi, I'm Alice. How can I help you today?
Hi, Alice. I want to go on a backpacking trip with some friends in Europe. What would you recommend?
That sounds like fun. For a backpacking trip in Europe, I would recommend starting in Amsterdam, Netherlands. You can explore the canals, visit museums, and enjoy the vibrant nightlife. From there, you can easily take a train to other amazing cities like Berlin, Germany, or Paris, France.
Yeah, the thing is, we want somewhere that's going to be warm in December. What country would you recommend?
For a warm destination in December, I recommend heading to Spain. You can explore the beautiful cities of Barcelona and Seville, enjoy the beaches, and soak up the sunshine.
Great. Any other recommendations that might be a little cheaper?
For a cheaper option, I recommend Portugal. You can explore the charming city of Lisbon, enjoy the beaches of the Algarve, and experience the delicious Portuguese cuisine.
Great. We'll go to Lisbon. Thanks so much.
Anyway, that's that. So I have not played with it. I don't know if it says seamless integration, multilingual support. What's exciting about this is products like HeyGen. HeyGen uses 11 Labs for their translation and for their voice synthesis stuff. And HeyGen's interactive agent is really expensive. It's like $45 a month, and you can only have one per account. It's really unusable. And I've never quite understood why. It must be really expensive. So it's possible that this feature is going to allow companies like HeyGen to allow us to do, kind of FaceTime like avatars where people can just interact with you or with a character of you or some character you invent or a brand mascot or something like that. So that's pretty important. And then the last thing that I'll share that I think was worth pointing out in the past couple of weeks was how often Google Chrome crashes. Come on. You can do it, buddy. You can do it. Coca-Cola put out a new Christmas video that is 100% AI generated, at least on the video. I think the music sounds traditional.
Holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming, holidays are coming. 'Tis the season, watch out, look around, something's coming to town, in the old town, something magical in the night. Can you see it shining bright? Always Coca-Cola, holidays refreshments, what we bring. 'Tis the season, it's always a real thing. Holidays are coming. Oh, have you seen it yet? Holidays are coming, 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 holidays are coming.
So that one's really interesting. The filmmaking community kind of lost their shit on that one, and they're like, "It looks like shit. It's horrible. AI sucks." And then the AI people are like, "It's awesome. Coca-Cola used AI. AI's the best." And then reality, of course, is somewhere in between. I'm curiously, I don't know if you've seen that. I'm curious, like, what your thoughts are on it. But it feels just like one of those natural moments where the different sides are going to see that piece of work completely differently, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it landed on me the way a lot of AI lands on me. It looks like AI. It looks like an illustration made with AI.
Yep.
And I know that you can make AI not look like that.
Yep.
And so for me, it feels a little bit like they had this opportunity to do something mind-blowing with AI, and they didn't do it. Yeah. And that's where I feel let down by this. Like, I'm not upset they used AI. It's that they had this, like, think of everything they could have done with everything we know about training and what's possible. And it's Coca-Cola. So
that brand, yeah.
Right? Like, hire the best prompt crafters in the world to put something together that blows us away.
Yeah.
And I think they just missed it. And it was a copy of a commercial that they did. It's a repetition.
Exactly.
And if you look at the one the other one looks better that they copied. Yeah. So that's my critique of it. It's not the AI. It's that they dropped the ball and it's an opportunity to do something truly transformative.
Yeah, and that's what struck me about it is exactly that they're doing what they know how to do, what they know how to do with traditional tools. And they're trying to replicate that, which is a natural thing to do. But, like, why not get someone like Kelly Bosch in there with her crazy vision of, something that makes a Coke commercial like nothing you've ever seen before, right? That, I think, will start to be when do we start to see that work? That's and it's going to come from traditional filmmakers? Is that going to come from the Kelly Bosches of the world? Where's that going to come from? So anyway, why don't we open this conversation up? Yeah. Bond, curious as to your thoughts. Raise your hand if you have thoughts on this. Or just
I think the thing that distresses me so much is how much AI is being put to use to sell people things.
Mm.
You know, I don't know, I don't know where that belongs in the political spectrum, but you know, it's just disturbing. I cut my cable so I didn't have to watch advertising, and now the power of AI is to sell me stuff that I don't need.
Welcome, welcome to America.
That's my comment.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, late stage capitalism strikes again.
Exactly.
So I think that it was an intentional decision. The more I thought about this, because you're right, Coca-Cola does have the breadth and depth to do something truly mind-blowing. And the fact that they didn't, and the fact that they did something that was obviously AI generated, feels more like a conversation starter about the future of advertising than it does like we just ran out of money and we kind of half-baked this idea.
Yeah.
But one other thing to call out, breaking here just in the past couple hours, is ChatGPT is rolling out its advanced voice mode to web users for paid subscribers to start.
Great, awesome. I didn't see it earlier. I saw a tweet on it. I haven't seen it in my browser.
Yeah, and Gemini iOS is now available too. That was the other big news this week from the advanced voice.
Okay. The other thing, if you haven't seen it yet, go check out Perplexity and search for a product. Speaking Bond of selling you crap. If you go to Perplexity and just type in like minimalist running shoes, it'll show you shoes, and you can actually buy directly in Perplexity. So it's a really fascinating model where they're going to potentially make their money through selling stuff rather than ads. So absolutely fascinating. Doug.
Yeah, so related to this, there was an article in Nature actually that talked about AI generated poetry is indistinguishable from human written poetry. And the comment was 5 poets rated as least likely to be human were actually written by famous poets, while 4 rated most human-like were AI generated. But when participants were told that it was generated by AI, then they rated it lower, regardless of authorship. So it's kind of like if you're told that it's AI generated, then people say, "Oh, then I'm not happy with it."
Yeah, there was a New York Times article this week about doctors where they took 50 doctors, and ChatGPT in diagnosing cases got it 90% right, and real doctors got it 72% right if it was just them, and like 74% right if it was them and ChatGPT. And the reason it was lower if they used ChatGPT is that if ChatGPT contradicted their opinion, they discounted it. And so anyway, I think we're gonna be confronting, like, okay, this thing's better than me. Like, what do you do with that as an individual, right? Is it malpractice to not use AI 5 years from now? I don't know. I mean, it's absolutely fascinating.
Well, what does the better job in diagnosis and treatment, right?
Right. Yeah.
And one thing is about personal preference of a commercial or a poem. So actually, when I've been writing with AI, concepts, I sometimes say, okay, now write a poem about this.
No, interesting.
And I find actually it gives me some insight, the poetry. So it's like I try to, write an article, create an image, and then also write a poem based on that. And you get some insight from, when it's in rhyme than just a regular narrative.
Yeah. And that's one of those things. I think that's a really good example of play first, that like, just play with it. Why not write a poem? Like it's going to take you 15 seconds and a minute or two to read it. Why not do that? Right. If it gives you insight, great. Awesome. Thank you. Joy Purdy.
I just wanted to say that I really had the complete opposite reaction with that Coca-Cola ad or video or whatever, because I mean, just casually looking at it, it gave you the feeling of Christmas, and I felt like I was just watching a regular commercial, and I really don't think people are ready for Kelly Bosch commercials from Coca-Cola.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I felt like it gave me that good, warm, fuzzy feeling, and I really think just to promote AI, I was glad they went that way so that people will say or have not so many fears and have confidence that the world's still going to be the same, because it is going to still be the same in ways of the world, and you don't mess with people's Christmas. You know. So that's
people aren't ready for a Kelly Bosch Christmas. We got to reach out to Kelly and tell her that. Tried to get you a job, Kelly, but people aren't ready for you. That's awesome. It's a really good take, Joy. Liz.
I was going to come on and say one thing, but Joy, you sort of changed my opinion a little bit, or I feel like you opened my mind a little more. So I appreciated your comment. But, just in my experience, I feel like the bigger, it was a huge risk. It's a very risky thing to do that. And the bigger the perceived risk, the more conservative the creative choices get.
Oh, yeah.
But, I think that AI is going to be used a lot more creatively in less industrial advertising contexts. I did feel like, it often happens in advertising, mediocrity by committee, and the larger the committee and the more money that's being spent, the much more conservative the choices get. But I can appreciate that it felt heartwarming, and that's all.
Well, it's also, a very real possibility here is that I don't know what the distribution of this commercial is. Maybe this is just meant for social media. And Coke said to this agency, here's 50 grand, go make us something that looks like the, $5 million commercial. Do the best you can with AI and see if you can get there. So it's possible that it was an experiment like that as well. Let's see what we can do. So, yeah. Great. Thanks. Lisa.
Yeah, I work with a lot of big advertisers for my job. I work at Google, and they don't know as much about AI as you might think. I think you guys could probably make a whole business out of just ideating for these ad agencies, because they're always, they have this huge sense of FOMO about, creating something with AI. And they just don't always know how to execute it because they don't have their fingers on the pulse of AI like a lot of people in this community do.
Yep, that's really interesting.
I agree with that for sure, Lisa. Absolutely.
Yeah. Jason. So yeah, it's a great point, Lisa.
Hey, sorry, I had to fix my mic. So I don't have a great take on the ad. For me being autistic, it was kind of busy for me. So all the snow and different things, when I first looked at it, it was a lot of processing for me to do to kind of see what was going on. The first thing I saw was, okay, snow, polar bear, Coca-Cola. It's bad. I know they are. And I just kind of tried to block it out at that point because it was just too much input for me.
Fascinating. Oh, cool. I want to kind of open up the conversation a bit more. I talked earlier about, I sort of come to this realization of I've been chasing the new thing and not paying as much attention to what's already in my hands. I'm just curious, where is everyone else on the sort of FOMO, new announcements? What are you using? I'm just curious where people are on that. Is anyone having similar experiences? I certainly feel like there's been a dip in, frothy enthusiasm about AI, but I'm just curious where everyone is. So just what are your thoughts? Vicky.
So I subscribe to probably 6 or 8 AI news emails, and now they just go straight in the trash. I don't even read them. I don't want to know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. And when did that happen, and why? Like, what shifted, do you think?
I think it's just like I just need to focus on one thing. It's like you said, the bright shiny object syndrome is real, and I kept trying new things, but I always kept coming back to the tools that I know and love the best. And so in the end, I just didn't want to hear about. I know if I'm going to hear about something important, I go to the AI Salon every night, right? So if something's going to come up, it's going to be either in the salon or in the AI Learning Lab, I should say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Interesting. Joy. You're muted, Joy.
Sorry. I feel kind of torn between wanting to learn more and wanting to do. And that overwhelms me. I really want to do so many things because this is so exciting to me. I don't feel that there's a lull at all. I feel overwhelmed, behind, and
you still have the feeling of I'll never catch up.
Right. And then, I'm also trying to establish myself as an AI artist. So now I've introduced social media, and then that's a time sucker. So I'm at the state of overwhelmed, and like a lot of people, but I can understand also people having lulls because they've already accomplished maybe what they've already wanted to do. And that's fine too. I think we all are in different stages.
Yeah, fascinating. Making this trend.
I've been kind of experimenting with like writing stuff on LinkedIn and writing articles and stuff like that. And I think without having AI, I wouldn't have done that on my own. And I feel like now that we're getting ready to have agents, when we put something on or give an agent a task, agents won't have that emotion that we have. We can just say, hey, here's your task, go do this and be done. And I feel like I'm excited about it, and I feel like that it's going to open up a lot of doors for a lot of people. But I think with this group, I would like to also have I would like to experiment with like a smaller group, like and do like how you do contact evolution or whatever it is you talk about.
Yeah.
So I would like to get like a small group together and try that out and experiment with that.
Okay, good. Yeah, that might be one of those pop-ups that I talked about. That might be something interesting. So think about the kinds of things you'd want to do in that group, and then there's also, if you don't know it, in the spaces, one of the spaces is call for collaborators. So if you have an idea about what you want to do, put it out there and see if you can get people to show some interest in it and take it from there. Perfect. Thank you. Charles Adams.
Yeah, I've been feeling a similar kind of diminishing excitement because of how much is out there.
Yeah.
It's more an overwhelmed situation than not really being excited. It's just there's too much to focus on, and if I split my attention that far, I have less energy to apply to anything. So I just dive harder into my novel the more overwhelmed I get.
No, I think it's wise. I think it goes back to, Leah, the way you positioned it, Leah, was this like you only know this one thing, and that's not as good a thing, but you know that one thing really deep, and I feel like I'm coming to the realization of the brilliance of that choice.
It's also it's like, I mean, my entire career has been about a camera, right? So I think that like photographers get really excited about new gear and cameras and lenses and lights and everything. And the reality is like it's still just a box with a hole in it that light comes through. I think like I understand the how rewarding it is to have a relationship with a tool that can then speak in my own voice. I think it's really cool.
It's funny when you just said that. I just had this flashback to our first conversation. I think we had conversations about this back then, about like there's all these tools, there's all this stuff. This is just another tool, right? That was kind of where this conversation started. So wow, that's really cool. Nice. Lisa Wells.
Yeah, ever since I've joined this group, it kind of sent me down a rabbit hole of like YouTube videos and like scary like Jason Shapiro, I think his name's.
Oh, David
Shapiro? Who are like making
Yeah.
like the scary predictions about AI. Well,
Yeah.
I think they're kind of scary.
Uh-huh.
So it's, I don't know if it's FOMO, but it's given me like a certain sense of urgency that I need to hurry up and learn all this to justify my own relevance at
Yep.
my job, because
Yep.
I'm thinking about like, how much do I have to retire with?
Mm.
How much longer will I be relevant on the job market, which according to Mo Gadot is not very much longer.
Yeah, I know.
So
I know, it's
so it's more,
terrifying.
yeah, it's more just like the urgency effect for me, and trying to leverage it as much as I possibly can to stand out while I'm still here.
Mhm.
It's so interesting to hear for someone who's coming from Google.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think that one of the things that I have found about the salon, which is very cool, like, is there's a lot of people who've come here and they haven't changed what they do. They've just made it better with AI, right? And so I think that there's an urgency to do something different than the way we've been doing it for a long time. But I don't think you're like, I think people becoming obsolete in their skills is a fear that always happens with new technology, right? And there will be a space for you and your voice and what you're good at. And if you can figure out how to use AI in that context, you'll be even more valuable than you would be without it, right? That's my take. That's what I hope anyway. That's what I tell myself.
I was there. The more I learn, the more I sort of play out what's coming. I think there's going to be pretty massive disruption. I think here's the thing, Lisa, is I think having that urgency will serve you well, whether or not, the AIs take our jobs or not. Like, I feel like you figuring out your relevance and how do you stay relevant in a job, I think that will serve you. But I have a feeling it's going to get pretty ugly. That said, companies also move glacially slow, so it might take companies a long while to adopt all these tools. Jason.
All right, thanks. Yeah, on the FOMO topic, that's something kind of similar. I call it, I guess, FOFO. So it's fear of finding out. So like this is like to Lisa, for example, from the field, a field example. I'm on GCP. I'm building an AI platform, and I get in there and I'm grinding. I get really far. Things are going great, and then the next thing I find out, Google's releasing something that's going to be automatically, comes along with Chrome or something or whatever, and I'm already using Google. So I'm given these tools by Google. I start building things, and then the fear of finding out is all that work I did is now going to be in everybody's hands, like instantly almost, because they already have that distribution of the hardware, the Android market, things like that. So we have to think like, they used to say 5 years ahead. I think we've got to go like 10 or 20 years ahead. I mean, we got to be so far ahead to have a difference. But then I got to remind myself, hey, just because somebody else has something that's similar doesn't mean I need to stop necessarily. For example, there's tons of places you can go to get a cheeseburger, but it doesn't, you could find that one place you like to go for whatever that reason is. It could be the best cheeseburger, compared to everybody else. So I try to remind myself that, but it's pretty much fear of finding out.
Yeah, no, that's huge. I think that's huge. There's an article that just came out. It was either in Bloomberg or might have been McKinsey, but it was talking about wrapper apps, right? Those apps that are built on top of ChatGPT. That in the early days after it came out, people were disparaging them, going, "Oh, those wrapper apps are going to be useless because they're just going to become a feature of something else." And what this recent report just said is the deep expertise in all those different verticals is going to be the differentiator, that those wrapper apps actually do have value because it's the deep expertise of the people putting them together. So yeah, execution is hard. Just because everyone can use that tool doesn't mean they're going to use it like you use it, Jason. So but I like that FOFO, fear of finding out. It's good. CC Weaver.
Yeah, so I'm actually, much like Jason, I'm, looking at these apps that are out there, and I'm looking at the longevity of the situation because I'm looking for a new job, and in operations, I've been would depend heavily on the apps and the business processes, and I want to really, make those more efficient, more productive, use AI in, the ways that make sense. So as I'm out looking at these different companies and looking at, the technologies that they're using, I just went to a hackathon type event last night where they were showing all these different AI startups were giving their pitches of the technology that they have. And I'm going around to the booths, kind of looking at what else there. And I'm trying to think, okay, what's the longevity of this? Because how much of this, if, one of the big guns out there releases a new feature, is this app now, irrelevant because of the new features that are coming out? The whole landscape is changing every day. So is there, how's that going to translate to all these startups that are building something, and then, that everything changes next week?
Yeah,
So,
Sam Altman has said he would caution against people starting businesses that are filling in the shortcomings of ChatGPT.
yes.
Like, don't assume they're going to stay shitty for long, basically.
Right.
That's a really interesting litmus test. Is like, is this a business that's just filling a gap of a current broken thing?
Right.
What if that thing ain't broke no more?
Exactly. And so that's the lens that I'm trying to use as I'm looking at these apps. There was a great one that actually won the competition last night. If you guys look at Spring, as in the season, spring.design, it's a really cool image creation type. There's a free version. So if you guys check it out, spring.design. Thank you, Kyle.
Cool.
So it won the whole competition last night, which was nice.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Liz.
All right. I feel like it's sort of a theme tonight. So for me, it's much, I would amplify the word that Lisa used of urgency. And I am moving from this feeling of urgency, of breadth. Like I have to know everything, to an urgency of depth. And I feel a lot more focused in the direction that I'm going. I feel equally urgent, but that feeling is less overwhelming. It feels much more directed, and that's very motivating.
Hang on, I'm just writing it down because I think it's such a good quote, that you're transitioning from an urgency of breadth to an urgency of depth. That's so good, because that's what I think that's what I'm feeling, is that I lost the urgency of the breadth because the breadth got so wide that I couldn't keep it in my head anymore, right? And like, that was one of the things I prided myself on, right? Like, I've been good at that over some amount of, like, a year and a half. And then it's now escaped me, and I think that's it. I think it's that urgency of depth. Like, pick a lane, right?
I mean, I remember, like, it 2 years ago, going on Futurepedia and feeling like I could kind of keep up. And now it's like 15,000 new AI tools.
Yeah. But it's even within a single tool, there's now 20 tools within each tool, right? And each of those is a whole rabbit hole, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Fascinating. Okay, one more. Brandon. Thanks, Liz. That was great.
I just feel like it's a tidal wave coming, and we're like paddling on the boat in front of it, and like, oh, we've got this. And then we look behind it, it's like, oh, there's a whole another thing coming, and it's really hard to stay motivated to keep paddling when you know what's behind you and what you see is coming. However, that being said, I still feel like, just like the AI, just like the .com bubble, there were survivors. Google, elevated itself naturally, and then those that kept paddling were those that were poised to maximize their ROI personally with the tools that survived.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, where you place your bets on the tools you use, that's a fascinating one. Yeah, really interesting. But yeah, I think the feeling of being like in a little rowboat and looking back and seeing the tsunami, that feels appropriate to me. Roger Scott.
There we go. Is it possible with this urgency of breadth versus urgency of depth issue that part of what's going on is that the early days, the effort you spent to broaden had a pretty good payoff because a lot of the new stuff you tried genuinely did broaden your knowledge, whereas now it's increasingly, more and more subtle differentiation, if any. And so your effort is being spread over, you're having to work just as hard to learn less and less interesting new stuff. And so at some point you just sort of say that, it's diminishing returns.
I think that's a great point. Like, Canvas within GPT-4o, okay, you can edit documents now. It's like, okay, instead of me copying and pasting it into, Google Docs, I can edit it there and it's got some other things. But yeah, I think that's a really good insight, Roger.
I think that's an insight to even stay with for a second, because, I think we're investing our time into learning something new, right? Yeah. That's all we have is our time. And I think in the past, Roger, this is really insightful.
Yeah.
That investment in time paid off. And what we learned during that time was important to further what we needed to know. With AI, it's exactly the opposite.
Well, of course, there's another way of looking at what you're saying, though, which is that rather than talking about the AI side change, we're changing too, right? And at a certain point, we know enough to do useful things without having to learn a lot more. Whereas in the early stages, we knew so little, you had to go out and learn more to get anywhere. So we're kind of becoming more independent in a way. We don't need that greater breadth the way we did in the early days. So our patience for gaining that it doesn't pay off again for our time.
I think that really resonates with me. Yeah. I think that's spot on. Okay, I want to get to the meet and greets. We've got Julie Carroll. Let's get you a last comment on this whole conversation, and then we'll move to the meet and greet.
And Kyle, your video is frozen, FYI.
Okay, thanks.
Oh, sorry. I might have, with my ADHD, misunderstood the topic, but I wanted to add that I work with nonprofits and building just events in our community. And one event I'm doing, I think I talked to you a little bit about it to get in touch with Anne, but it's going to be an arts ball where I find artists who have, mental health is the topic. So artists that is close to their heart want to make an art piece or donate that. And I want to incorporate AI art, but they are just staunch about, no, it's not art. So I'm trying to find a way to pull AI art design and art into the art community. So, I'm just listening to you all and I'm like, is AI a technology or AI art technology, or can it be art? So I'm just listening to you guys. So thanks. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, I think you've got
about this every day, Julie.
What'd you say, Leah?
Every day. This is what we think about every day. Yeah. No, I appreciate that you brought that up, and I am very much on the side of it being a tool, and believe that people who make work using the tools of generative AI, some make great art and some make okay art, just like any other tool, a paintbrush, a camera, a pencil. I am often that's not a popular opinion with my fellow photographers.
Yeah, we had in Denver here, one of the galleries put on an AI art show, and some of the artists in the community were making death threats and like crazy. And one of the best pieces of art in the AI art show was one of the artists took all the shitty comments from all the other artists and used those prompts to make images of that prompt, and then did a whole installation. Awesome. I thought it was brilliant. So there was like the death threat and had a deathy kind of picture and things like that. But I think this is just we're in that transition where the established people in all the professions are going to resist it. And I think with the creative arts, it's such an existential, people's value is so tied to themselves personally. I think you're going to have that battle. I think the only way out of it is education and conversation, and talk about it and put work in the world. And
make art. I mean, to me, the only solution is make art. Like, just make art. Don't worry. Like, who cares what they say? Who cares what they call it? Just go make it. Just go play with it.
And the other thing I notice is how AI has really helped our neurodivergent community. And I want to bring awareness to that, which is the main purpose of this event, to bring awareness to mental health and neurodivergent community. AI has just been a great tool for us.
Yeah, yeah. Ben Affleck this past week did a good interview, and he said like good work is about generating the work. Art is knowing when to stop. Right. And I think that's it. Like when you choose to, if you make 500 images and then you pick the one and you print that out and you put that in the gallery, why did you choose that one? Right. It's that your point of view, you're putting your name on it. Like that's when it becomes art, is when you choose to, right, stop. I thought that was a good point.
Love that. Thank you.
Yep. Okay, so Roger, let me just go on to meet and greet, or otherwise we'll never get to it. But we'll get back to you. You can circle back around when we do the meet and greet. Okay, so let me share my screen, and we'll show you what we're going to talk about tonight. So if you haven't been here before, the meet and greets, one of the most important things going on right now is community is super important, super important. So the purpose of the meet and greet meetings is to do exactly that, to get to know one another. And there's a lot of folks here that, we know each other, but it's always a good reminder. So here's what I want you to share. Brandon, are you set up with the timer?
I am.
Awesome. What do we have, 2 minutes? You have it set for 2 minutes right now?
Right now, but that's negotiable.
Okay. Let's see what we do here. And I think 2 might be good. Maybe we go to 2:30 or something like that. So here's what I want you to do. Introduce yourself, where you are and what you do, just what you do in the world. Doesn't have to be work, can be whatever. Number 1, after that, what are you excited to try or revisit, right? On that theme of, we've got good stuff in our hands right now. I'd love to know, what do you use every day in terms of AI? I would love to get an undiscovered gem, and this is sort of in the spirit of Brandon and Claire's, life hacks. Like, what is either a tool that people might not know about, or what's a tip, what's a hack that you've done that's like an undiscovered gem that people in the community might benefit from? And then the last one, what's a community ask? Ask the community, what do you need? What's something that you need? Or, as Jason said, he wants to put together a smaller group. What is something that the community could do for you? All right. And then Leah, I've realized that you and I haven't been going first, and I think we should.
I think we should too.
So why don't I just put in the chat what the questions are. I'm going to stop presenting. I'm going to let Brandon start presenting. And then while I think of clever answers to those questions, Leah, why don't you go first?
Okay, I don't know if I have clever answers, but I'll have honest answers. Okay. Hi, I'm Leah Faston. Right now, I am in Newton, Massachusetts. I travel a lot, but right now I'm in Newton, Massachusetts, and I am a commercial photographer. LeahFaston.com. You can see my photographs. I am also the founder of the AI Salon. I am excited to try or revisit. So I've been hosting on Mondays and Thursdays a group where we read a poem or take a spark from literature and write about it. And then we take that insight and we put it into our creative practice of choice, right? We do it here with prompts and prompt crafting 2D or writing. And I have been pushing that a lot with putting those insights into ChatGPT to write the prompt that I'm then putting into Midjourney. So I've been exploring that and doing that. Every day I use ChatGPT, and when I'm generating, I use Midjourney right now. Undiscovered gem, this is something I share with Midjourney, is the hashtag or the _SREF, the style reference, where you can reference an image to style your Midjourney prompt. That's when I tell people that it changes the way they're prompting. Community ask, what do you need? I am inviting you to come try our journal and prompt offering on Mondays and Thursdays.
Beautiful.
So I do that.
Beautiful. Okay, I'll go now. So before I go, I want to just acknowledge Brandon. So Brandon built this thing you're seeing in Claude. This is a Claude artifact, and he's iterated it, and he can now change things. So it's super awesome. So thank you for doing that, Brandon. The other thing, raise your hand right now, and then I'll call on people. So raise your hand to follow us to do the meet and greet. And if you don't raise your hand, I will call on you. So you might as well raise it anyway. All right. Okay. So for me, I'm Kyle Shannon. I'm in Denver, Colorado. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Storyvine and the Salon. And let's see, what am I excited to try or revisit? I'm actually excited to revisit ChatGPT. There is so much in it. Like, I don't know how to use O1 at all. I don't know the difference between O1 Preview and O1 Mini, other than one's faster and one's cheap, but I don't know. So like, I'm excited to redo that. What do I use every day? The thing I use every day, this is going to sound stupid, is I'm hoarding Mid-Journey srefs. So I go into X and I find cool srefs that I like the examples of, and then I copy them and I put them in mymind.com, which is a really cool, just sort of digital scrapbook that's super fast and lightweight, and it works with my ADD. An undiscovered gem, a tool or a tip. For me, I've talked about this a lot in the past. The undiscovered tool is Decohere's stations, where it'll just generate images without you having to prompt it. I think it's absolutely amazing. So it's app.decohere.something. I'll put it in the chat once I know. And then the last thing is community ask. What do I need? Here's my community ask. Here's what I really want. December 3rd, 2-year anniversary. Get people here. Come here yourself. Bring friends. Like, it doesn't have to be people that were previous saloners. Like, bring new people. Bring your family. Bring people that hate AI, that don't think AI can ever be art. Bring them. All right. That's my ask. All right, Charles Adams, you're up.
Man, that was quick. All right, let me pull up the questions again. So my name is Charles Adams. I now live in St. Louis, and it's a recent move. Something I use every day is Claude and ChatGPT, and I kind of bounce between them. I play them off of each other all the time. I use a lot of bots on Poe, and with that, I talk to basically all the LLMs to see how they interpret the same conversations. What else was it? Oh, an undiscovered gem tool. Rather, a tip is I have tried to rewire my brain and not use AI like it's a program that I have to come up with every idea. I'm trying to get it to teach me rather than me tell it what to do. And treating it as a tutor instead of as a servant. Community ask, I really don't know. I've been racking my brain to find a way to make enough money that I can survive the coming economic collapse. Fully expect it to happen, and I think AI is going to make me a whole bunch of money, but I haven't figured out how yet.
Yeah, exactly.
If anybody else has ideas and would like to hire me,
That's awesome. Good.
That's about it. What am I excited to try or revisit? I'm really wanting to learn how to make videos better.
Great. Awesome. You should connect with Joy Purdy, who's been doing really good work there. Dr. Brito.
Good evening, Kyle. It's nice to be here. I was going to make one humble request. Can I share my screen? I have something to share with all the members today. It's in total difference to what you have in mind, but I promise you, you will not regret it.
Can we let's do it at the end? So
Make
if you
I go with that.
Yeah, if you could just introduce yourself, give us answers to the questions. We'll stick with this format, and then at the end, we'll give you the stage.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, my name is Dr. Brito. I'm from Nebraska. I'm a former educator. And what do I do? Right now, I'm a hobbyist. I compose music. That's what it is. I do not know music. I do not know the theory of music. Can't read or write music, but I produce music, and I produce multimedia presentations for mainly for entertainment. What I have today for your presentation is a surprise, especially for you, Kyle. What do I like to do? I try to explore and find new things, new research, to do some creative thinking using AI as a tool. AI is my tool, and it is what I call the tool of empowerment. That's what I do. And I'm here to particularly to see how best I can serve the best needs of AI Salon. Thank you.
Okay, great. Who's next here? Jason.
All right, thanks. First off, Brandon, shout out. That's pretty cool on the light. There's something I'd like to mention on that later. So, Jason Osborne is my name. I'm in the Denver metro area. I'm originally from Alabama. I've been in the Denver metro area for about 10 years now. What am I excited to try to revisit? I'm looking into getting back into automated foreign exchange trading. It's something I did a long time ago. And then with the capabilities of AI now, I can kind of get in there and kind of try to advance some of the stuff where I left off many years ago. What I use every day is I'm using GCP, I use Gemini, I use Claude, I use Notepad a lot. I'm old school. I'll just write code straight in Notepad. I use VS Code, database stuff. I mean, just tons and tons of coding stuff. But from an AI standpoint, I'm mainly using Gemini and Claude until I expand further. My API stuff's there, but I, don't have it tied into other vendors yet. Now, undiscovered gem or tooltip. When you're working with a model and you're trying to get some kind of output, the way I go at it is I'm trying to get a structured output. So if you ask AI to start helping you with something that's too far in the weeds, sometimes it goes straight to trying to help you, but it may not be what you really need to try to do. So I try to start at a high level and get me an outline. And then once I get that outline from the model I'm working with, then I can start working within that outline and getting more details in each of those sections. And usually from my experience, I've gotten better results because if you stay within the outline of that model, it's going to be able to associate better knowledge, most likely since it came up with that outline to begin with. What do I need? What am I looking for? Collaboration. I need to improve my speaking skills. I've got to get out there and pitch. I'm bootstrapping a company. I've been working on it for 9 months now. So trying to mingle with the community, small businesses. Let's work together and figure out how to grow. That's pretty much it.
Beautiful. And if you haven't, I would encourage you to practice with advanced voice and have it coach you on speaking. Pitch your idea to advanced voice and have it coach you. Might be something fun to do.
Thanks.
Great. Beautiful. Kate.
Hi. Okay. My name is Kate. I was born in Colombia. I live in Fort Lauderdale, Florida since 2000. And I work with trade shows and I do marketing and public relations for them. And I use ChatGPT all the time. And I just bounce between things when I reach the limits of images or something. So I start with ChatGPT, then I open Gemini, then I just started moving depending on the limits. And I'm liking ChatGPT again. What else? I started learning a little bit about AI memes, and I know Kyle hates this, the cryptocurrency thing, but I'm just trying to understand it. The GOAT, that there's some AIs that talk to each other and created like a meme coin and something interesting that I'm trying to understand. Bye.
It hit a $1 billion market cap, that meme coin that was created by an AI. Hit a $1 billion market cap. So a couple of things. If you haven't raised your hand yet, please raise your hand. Here's my other request is when you hop up on stage, if at all possible, turn on your camera so that we can see you and meet you. All right. So next, Lisa Wells.
Okay. Let me turn on my light here so I can turn on the camera. Um, okay.
Where?
Sorry, I was sitting there in the dark, so I had to turn on my light. So yeah, I'm Lisa, and I live in New York City. I'm a data scientist. I work on a creative research team at Google. The thing I'm excited to try is the new Gemini 1114, I think it is. I've heard that it's more advanced than the latest version of ChatGPT.
Oh,
So
cool.
I'm eager to try that. And that it's better than Claude, which I don't know. We'll see about that. What I use every day, I use Claude and I use ChatGPT as chatbots, and I use the Gemini API for its multimodality. The undiscovered gem, I actually, it is discovered. I discovered it here. It was the Illuminate tool. It's kind of like Notebook LM, except it's for research papers.
Oh, right.
And Pate introduced me to that. And I used it to read this DeepMind paper about optimization prompting. And I then I had a long conversation with ChatGPT, output that to Notebook LM, and then created a second podcast that was like 40 minutes long, explaining to myself like how I could actually use this prompting technique that I probably never would have understood without stumbling across this tool. So just AI on top of AI on top of AI.
Can you put the when you're done, can you just put the link to that in the chat?
Uh-huh. And the community ask, I would say, if anyone has like organizational tips using AI, that would be awesome. And I'm also super interested. Someone mentioned video creation and prompt optimization would be super interesting for me, like especially as like a creative researcher.
Beautiful. Thank you. Awesome. Roger Scott.
Hi, I'm Roger Scott. I live in Boulder, Colorado, which is near Denver. I'm a retired software engineer, and I'm deeply, deeply ashamed to admit that most days these days I'm not doing anything with AI. And busy with other things, but I actually wanted to take my time here to tell a very short little story related to what we're talking about right before we started doing the meet and greet part of things, the whole, is AI art issue and stuff like that. So I've been just dipping my toe in seeing if any of the local coffee shops would be interested in showing some of my AI generated art. I'm interested in selling it to raise money for charity. I'm not looking to make money for myself. I don't want to get into all the murky ethical waters of benefiting from other people's work and stuff like that. So I got a contact for the person in charge of one of these places, and I sent them a link to about a dozen or so representative pieces of my work that I thought would be more relatively suitable for maybe showing in a coffee shop kind of thing. And it started an interesting conversation because a lot of stuff that I've done is having AI generate images of things that look fairly real. They're not, some of the stuff is sort of art, is sort of representations of 2D art, but a lot of it is things like sculptures and masks and other 3D objects where what's generated looks like basically a photograph of some real world thing. So the first response I got from this person was basically saying, oh, we don't really show like masks in here. So not only did she not realize the stuff was generated, but she didn't even realize that it wasn't real. She thought I was showing her photographs of actual physical 3D art that I created. So, I said, no, these are all 2D images and stuff. And so then she came back and said, "Oh, so you're a photographer."
That's great.
And at that point, I realized that I was not going to be able to explain what it was I was trying to show. Unfortunately, she was didn't really think my aesthetic was what she was looking for at her coffee shop. I was thinking didn't go much beyond that. But I thought the series of assumptions that she made about this stuff, when I didn't tell her anything at all about where it came from and how I came up with it. So it was completely unbiased on her part. And that was very interesting that, first of all, she thought the 7 things were actual real world objects. And secondly, that, oh, they must be photographs. The idea that they were, I basically called them prints.
Yeah.
And the idea that they could be completely synthetic was so foreign to her. And, I'll take a small amount of credit for they were so convincing.
Yeah.
But,
all right.
It's some combination of just not be able to conceive there being such a thing. And they're not being a whole lot of really obvious giveaways.
Time's up. Great. Time's up, Roger, but thank you. Awesome. CC Weaver.
Yes. So I am Cece Weaver, obviously. I'm out of Dallas. We're holding down the Texas fort down here with Kelly and some of the others. I am excited to try. I every day I'm in ChatGPT, Perplexity, Notebook LM. Excited to try everything else, which is part of the challenge, is focusing on what to spend more time with. So definitely, I want to spend more time with Claude and Gemini. Undiscovered Gem. I guess I could mention again that Spring.design that won the competition last night. That one was really cool. I love hearing about new tools. I'm not sure if any others that I would recommend right now. Community ask, I would say. So I'm COO of a technology company, looking for a new job, and I'm really excited about working with a small to medium-sized company. If you guys know of anybody that could really use somebody to help them with their operations, I'm excited to use AI in a company, help make a difference, and help them be on the forefront. I think if a company's not looking at that, they're going to be left behind. So any recommendations, any suggestions, advice, I would love it. And if there's anything that I can do to help you guys, I'm here. So would love to help anybody.
That's awesome. Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Who's next here? Bond.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bond Francisco. I'm in the San Francisco Bay Area in Fairfax. I'm a retired business analyst from UC Berkeley, and now I'm an Uber driver. So what do I want to try? Well, I've been fighting depression for years, and I'm now undergoing a series of ketamine treatments for depression, which apparently seem to be working. And what I want to try is to reproduce a ketamine dream experience using AI based on the music that I've programmed into my headphones for this experience, and see what AI comes up with, if it's anything like what I see, which I doubt. A tool that I found is called Visual Mind, which I really like. I write it a question and it gives me a chart, with a central piece. How do I build a bench? Well, you start here. Here's the plans, and it organizes all the steps. And from an analyst point of view, I really appreciate that, because I have all kinds of projects floating around. And what's the community ask? Well, I think I'm getting it. So thank you very much. I also really appreciate Peter Kaminsky, his Midjourney, because I use Midjourney almost every day just to play it, because I find a lot of people say that they start with Midjourney and then they go off into other realms. So that's who I am, and I'll pass.
Beautiful. Thank you, Bond. That was great. If you could put the link to that tool in the chat, that would be awesome.
Sure.
And here we go. Hang on one sec. If you haven't raised your hand, please raise your hand. And Eric Sanner, you're up.
Hello, everyone. My name is Eric. It says it right there on the screen, and very handy. I'm in Brooklyn. I'm co-founder of chatbetter.ai. We have built a work tool. So you can access multiple models. You can organize things in folders across different models. Everything's private, so all of your customer data stays secret, and so on. What I'm excited to revisit is playing first, because I've gotten so wrapped up in AI for work and how to make it useful for people that I have spent, my Midjourney subscription has expired. I discovered that, and I haven't messed around with video, which I was excited to do. So I'm looking forward to revisiting, just messing around. And like a while ago, I set up a little debate between different models, and then now I've seen that. This is like a year ago or more, right? Now I've seen it on LinkedIn or wherever, but this stuff's fun. I'd like to do more of it. What I use every day is the off button. So a lot of people just let their computer go to sleep at night. I shut this thing down, and I love just getting away, man. I don't know if you guys remember in the early days of the salon, I'd be listening on the headphones, but I'd be gardening outside. I was just like, I don't want to look at the screen, or hiking, right? Hiking and gardening. So I love getting away from the tech and then getting back to it. Undiscovered gem, I'm going to say Mistral is just underappreciated. I'm hearing people saying, oh, I use ChatGPT, Claude, and maybe there's something else in there. But Mistral is my go-to for almost every task. And then somebody already mentioned earlier, another kind of, it's been covered a lot, but I forget about it sometimes, is let the AI do all the work for you, including writing prompts. So if there's something you want to do, tell it my time's up. Thanks.
Great. I do want to give a shout out, Eric. So I have been woefully not a good friend of yours in testing your tool, but the other day I was talking with Brandon. We were talking about getting ready to go live, and he goes, "Have you used Eric's tool?" And he like demoed it for me. Like, first of all, it has come so far, so congrats on building it. But if you haven't played with Eric's tool, like, he could use the users. So if you can, please just put the link in the chat. And it's really good. Like you put in a prompt, and then all these different models you can compare different models in a really intuitive way. So so congrats on getting it there. Like launching something is a big deal. So I want to acknowledge that I haven't used it. When Brendan showed it to me, it was really, really good. So
And also, Eric, like, congratulations for doing it. Like, I mean, you've been working on this, I want to say forever, but it's just been a really like year and a half, right? Like,
none of it's me. It's all Vanille. It's all my co-founder in
okay,
in
but still,
name.
you've been. It's really exciting to see this come to fruition.
Thank you.
Well
Thank
deserved.
you. No, a lot of it only exists as a response to this community. Like, this is, I just listened to so many meetings and calls and everything. What do people want? How do they learn? And what are they trying to do? And really, the tool kind of developed as an answer for you all.
Yeah, awesome.
I want to add, I know your producer is awesome, but it was me who showed you.
Oh, it was? Oh, that's right.
I'm also a fan, though.
Joy Purdy.
Hello, my name is Joy, and I'm in New York, and I'm a sleep tech. I'm excited to go back using Claude. I got away from it just because, having both. Getting into writing more another script. I use ChatGPT and now Claude every day. Undiscovered gem, I think, is Claude. I feel like I'm just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing here. I think what I forgot to say is I'm excited also to use Comfy UI and training Alora for consistent characters. I'm available for anybody and everybody that wants to get into video making. I love it. And I think the best way to learn is to teach. So I'd be happy to help anybody that's just getting into it. And my community ask might be that Comfy UI seems confusing for me. I actually started using it, but couldn't get it to work. So I think I might need assistance to actually get that up and running. And that's it.
Beautiful. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you.
And take Joy up. Her video works amazing. Liz.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Liz Gershfeld, Liz Miller Gershfeld. And I am in Chicago, Illinois. And I'm a creative producer. I was a producer for 23 years at an advertising agency, and now I'm on my own, and I'm moving into developing a portfolio of AI capabilities where they intersect with what I used to do and what I want to do now. I am excited to try, well, I had one thing, but I'm changing it. I'm excited to try Eric's tool. But I was going to also say I'm excited to try some of the video tools that I have not used. And because I've sort of been staying in my comfort zone with video of Luma Dream Machine and Runway. And every day I use Midjourney, ChatGPT, and Claude. I sort of play them off each other, and Perplexity, and also something you mentioned, Kyle, My Mind. I love that, and I think I learned about it from you. An undiscovered gem, tool, or tip. I'd call this a tip. When I make music for my videos, I always start it in 11 Labs. And I really like doing that. And I've really been enjoying making music in that way. And I start it there, and then I bring the output over into Udio, and I build it from there. And community ask, everybody fill out the survey when Vicky sends it to you, because I think it's going to evolve this space in a cool way by knowing what everybody's, where everybody's heads are on different things.
Yep, beautiful. I've got 2 hands raised, and I've got more than 2 people who haven't spoken. So raise your hands. Down at the bottom, two buttons over from the red button is a little hand. Click it, or I'll call on you. I'll do it. Kelly Camp. There came her. She raised her hand. All right. Doug.
Hi, I'm Doug O'Hulan. I work I'm in Kansas City. I used to work at Motorola and Nokia for 33 years. Now I'm working on AI projects when the AI systems have to be right, doing consulting, working on AI in healthcare, AI and governance and policy, and responsible AI, working with the company AI and Partners. Let's see. So, excited to try, just different models. I used to do Gemini quite a bit, and I haven't done that recently. So I just saw that they upgraded their models. So I'm interested in trying that one out. I'm writing a book with Dr. Harvey Castro. We wrote one book, Tech Powered Healing, the Future of Healthcare in the AI Age. And in fact, I use Notebook LM, and I hear that there's a new feature there too. So I got to play around with that a little bit more. But I was thinking, what's the most boring book out there? And it was Moby Dick. And so I said, okay, can I make Moby Dick more interesting? And then what I did is I said, okay, well, now let's write a story about Moby Dick from Moby Dick's perspective, right? Because he's just enjoying life, and all of a sudden Ahab comes along and tries to kill him. So, looking at Moby Dick from the way and I called him what's a good name for Moby Dick, and it's Echo of the Boundless Depths. So anyway, that's the story, and I used Notebook LM, and I really liked it. Actually, I put the last book we did into that as well, and really enjoyed that as well. So the one thing I would say about Notebook LM, I have to use another tool to get it into YouTube. And so, if there was a way that I could do video, where I could have an audio file, then put, images, and then generate a YouTube video, a little bit more, automatic. That would be nice. But you can do it manually enough that it's not too bad. But I could do it in 5 minutes, but it would be nice just to click on the link and get it done quickly. So anyway, that's all I have. I know I'm out of time, but just excited to be part of this group. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. All right. Who is next? Julie.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
I kind of talked earlier, so I'll keep it sweet or short.
You can keep it sweet.
I'm in the Myrtle Beach area. If you're in the Myrtle Beach area, let's connect. I do all kinds of stuff. I'm one of those jack of all trades, master of none. But I get people to call me all the time for coming up with ideas and strategies for their business. I went to school for business and marketing, so I guess AI is helping me quite a bit with that. My favorite tools, besides Salon AI, I just love to learn. That's all I do. With ADHD, I think that's like the main trait, is just all you want to do is learn all the time. And that's my thing. And I've got to just make a master of one of those to really, hone that in a little bit, because there's so many facets now. I'm a repetitive visual learner, so I love the video side of things. So I would like to go into that more. So I was excited to hear there's more guilds for that. So I'm definitely going to check that out. And I just really appreciate your guys' AI lab. It's helped me so much in the past year, just to be able to focus and feel normal, like I'm not the only one out there. So I just wanted to throw that out there. My family's companies, they own a lot of like construction kind of companies. So I want to build a gutter app, an app that customers can use to get a better idea on how to measure gutters at their house and the amount that they would spend and the correct downspouts. Okay, the end. I kept it quick.
Okay, you need to talk to Kelly Camp. You need to talk to Kelly Camp. She'll introduce herself 2 people from now, and she has basically done the exact equivalent of what you're talking about with some other part of construction, but you two need to connect. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so I had the aspect of the nonprofit side that I help, but this is my business side. So sorry about the confusion if anybody heard earlier.
You're good. Making this trend.
Hello, I'm Jason Gambrill. I'm from Corbin, Kentucky. Let me get the questions up here.
You there? You need him? Oh, Jason. I think you might be muted. Are you muted? No, he's not muted. All right. I'll unpin Jason for a second. And Kelly.
Hi, I'm Kelly Camp, and I live in Dallas, Texas. And I am actually an AI agent, or have an AI agency. I've been having several people say, you're not an agency, you're an agent. And whatever that means, but I kind of like it. So I'll go with that. What I'm excited to try or revisit, kind of anything that I started out with in the beginning that I haven't touched in almost a year, but Midjourney, Runway, digital avatars, or just the fun stuff. I've been grinding on my business for quite some time, so I'm ready to go back and just have fun. The things that I'm using every day, I have to say, is the photo feature of ChatGPT. I probably use it close to 100 times a day. I mean, if I have trouble with my website, I take a picture of my screen and I ask Chat, how do I fix it? If I need, something for dinner, I take a picture of my refrigerator and ask it what's for dinner. Or I go into a restaurant, I take a picture of my food and say, how do I make this? I mean, I literally use that photo feature for everything in my life, and I love it. And I think it's really underused. An undiscovered gem, honestly, I think it's GPTs. I've made 170 plus GPTs now, And last week I had an epiphany and I thought, oh, I was trying to do this task and I said, Kelly, just make a GPT. And in building that GPT, something switched for me. And I finally sort of realized the power of GPTs and what they can actually do and all the millions of ways they can be utilized. So I'm on a big GPT kick right now. My ask is I'm actually building so many GPTs. I'm doing it for businesses as well. And I've got some that I think I could sell, but nobody really knows how to use them yet. So I'm looking for help in building a web platform where I can put in a paywall and some other things so I can sell those. So if anybody wants to help with that, that would be great.
That's slick. What popped into my head is that Gartner trough of disillusionment with GPTs, where we all got into them because it was going to be a way we could make money because it was a store, right? And then the store never came, and we went into trough of disillusionment. I'm in the same place where the power of what those things can do with relatively, no technical expertise required is just staggering. So thank you for the reminder for that, because it's like, again, that to me feels like that thing, going back to revisit those things we forgot to do. One of them's play. I really love what Eric said and what you said, but those custom GPTs are quite amazing. So thank you. All right. Awesome. Kath.
Hey, good to see everybody. Yeah, I am Kath Galvin. I live in Northwest New Jersey. I spend a bunch of time in Brooklyn with family and friends. What am I doing? I work for a telehealth company out of the same building as Kyle, oddly.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah. I'm actually in a job that's very replaceable, quite honest.
Oh.
I work on the chat team. So, and my team we don't have access to AI within our job, which is ironic. So this is a great place for me to be, so I can try all these things. So, what I'm excited to revisit, I would say, is ChatGPT, which I really haven't been using a lot. But I feel like that's getting back to the basics. And I feel like it's like 5 or 6 things are rising to the top after this year of kind of like the fire hose of possibilities. So yeah, I'm going to look at that. Also, what I'm using every day, Perplexity, every day. I find that is super helpful. That's my new Google. I don't use Google anymore. Undiscovered gem. Just yesterday, I happened upon a new Canva feature that is called Dreamlab, and that's their image generator. And it lets you change the ratio so that you can just drop it into social media or presentation or whatever. And also, they have pictures already with the description, so you can see the prompt, how it was written, so you can kind of play with it. And so I would definitely recommend, if you're using Canva already, it's in, just look for Dreamlabs. And community app, I could definitely do better at just the basic skills, like improving workflow for like something like the speakers, like when we're with speaker, then they confirming them, then making sure that they have the information for the tech part of it, and then the thank you. And then I think the end of the year we should do a little just here's everybody that was part of it, and tell your other friends who might want to speak. I could use help with that.
All right, that's great. Yeah, that's a very automatable series of tasks, which is great. Also, a couple of things. One is, I have in my head your last name is Gavin. I have introduced you as Kath Gavin 43 times. It's Galvin. I will make an attempt to remember it, but I'm horrible with that shit. So apologies for that. Also, Kath is the one that organizes our speakers. If you have ideas for speakers, please reach out to Kath and let her know. Okay. And thank you for the work you do on that, because I know it's a tough job to do. So thank you for your work.
No problem. And rhymes with Alvin, just to make it easier.
Yeah, I know. In my brain, it's Gavin, and I just got to break that. All right. Thanks. Making this trend back up. Jason.
I'm sorry. I think I accidentally hung up on y'all.
Okay. Yeah, you just went silent. You there?
I think he accidentally hung up on us all again.
Oh, did he?
Jason, can you hear us?
Hello, Jason. All right, back down he goes. Paul. Paul, you're muted. All right. Paul's taking a nap. Brandon.
I will defer my time to. We had a presentation. Somebody wanted to share their screen at the end.
Okay, fine. Good. Frostbitten.
Shit. Frostbitten. I don't know. I've been using the name Frostbitten online for like 20 some years. Everybody's otherwise calls me Jay. Where's the even questions? What do I do? I'm an IT specialist for like 15, 20 years, maybe something now. Been a consultant for 12, maybe. Working probably at, I don't know, 7 or 8 different companies now in the last 12 years. Excited to try and revisit maybe Studio Audio or AI Studio.
Well, we open the door.
I've been on that for a while here. I did find some interesting things on there a while ago, back in the springtime there when it first came out. But otherwise, every day, kind of try to use between ChatGPT or Gemini or something. Yeah, I'm just kind of working on a project. Maybe I don't know, something along the lines of maybe trying to some like lost languages, just deciphering them and stuff, whatever. Chat or yeah, AI and stuff. So we'll see how that's going. But yeah, other than that, yeah, keep too busy with work here to really get into AI too much here. But yeah,
Great.
well, they really
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Welcome. Paul. You are muted. Still muted. Toward the bottom, to the left of the buttons. Here, wait. Can I unmute you? I don't think I can. No. All right. Can't unmute. Okay. So we're right at the top of the hour. Mr. IT, why don't you hop up here? Dr. IT, and hop up here. And you said you wanted to, Dr. Brito, you wanted to show something?
Yes, I did, but I do not know how to share screen.
With
Would it be okay if I just jump on for 1 second, because we are at top of the hour and we are at time. And so I do want to, like, I'm excited to see what you have to say, but I know that some of us do have a hard out. So can we just check in, Kyle, about do we want to like wrap up if it's okay, and people who want to stay later can stay and see what Dr. Brito is showing? What do you think?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Let's wrap it up. Beautiful.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm gonna I will watch the recording, Dr. Brito, what you have to say. And Kyle, I want to thank you for a great salon. I know I need to duck out. So we will see, I will see you in 2 weeks at the birthday.
Yes, 2 weeks.
Bash, everyone.
Yeah, everyone that's got to go, thank you. Great seeing you all. If you want to hang out and see what Dr. Brito's put together, cool. And yeah, bring friends, bring a party, make nachos. 2 years. Get ready to buy a cool t-shirt.
Woohoo! We'll see you all then. Okay, bye, friends.
Bye. All right, Dr. Brito.
Can you show me how to share screen?
Yeah, on the bottom.
It is yeah, there's an arrow at the bottom.
Yep.
Which one is that?
A little square with the up arrow in it.
Oh, okay. And does that give you sound also?
If you share a tab.
Okay. Share tab audio. Okay. So what am I sharing? Let me see. Give me a second. Let me look at something here. Select tab to share. I have got a PowerPoint on my screen. How do I bring that to the front? Because I want to
share a window or share your entire screen, and then just make it live.
Okay, share the entire screen and say share, right?
Yep.
Okay. Can you see the screen?
Greetings, folks.
Nope.
My name is Hans Fried.
Yes, no?
And I am one of Dr. B's raconteurs for his multimedia productions. According to allauthor.com, William Shakespeare once said, and I
No, you
quote,
can't see it.
"His music for both."
You're not sharing.
Sorry?
You're not sharing your screen.
Oh. Let me get my screen.
You have to come to the Google Meet, click on the button that says share screen, say share entire screen, and then make sure you pick the screen that's got the PowerPoint on it.
Okay. Okay, share entire screen. Okay. And do you see my entire screen now?
Yep.
Okay. It got started a little early, but we'll skip that. This was for you, Kyle.
Greetings, folks. My name is Hans Fried, and I am one of Dr. B's raconteurs for his multimedia productions. According to allauthor.com, William Shakespeare once said, and I quote, "The earth is music for those who listen." Unquote. If you are here to listen, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation created by Dr. B, which he has dedicated to the ongoing mission and success of the AI Salon. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, Dr. B created this presentation without knowing how to read or write music. It is showtime.
All right, pause it, Dr. B.
Yeah.
Pause it. Next to the red button, click on the three dots. Here, stop sharing. I mean, stop that thing. Yeah, scroll it back. Now go to the three dots.
At the bottom of the screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Go to no. Go to the ones in Google Meet. You're in PowerPoint right now. Get out of presentation mode. Flip back over to Google Meet.
Let me get back there. I'm sorry about this. I'm used to Zoom, so that's my weakness. Okay, I'm back in Google Meet.
Click on the three dots next to the red phone icon.
Got that?
Go to settings on the bottom.
Yes.
Go to audio. And then
Yes.
turn off noise cancellation. Up, no, up, right, right. There you go. There.
Turn it off?
Yep. Just close that window. Now go try it again.
Okay. Let me go back here. Okay, let me go back here and start it again. Okay. Let's see where that goes.
My name is
Can you
Hans
get it?
Fried,
Yeah.
and I'm one of Dr. B's raconteurs for his multimedia productions. According to allauthor.com, William Shakespeare once said, and I quote, "The earth is music for those who listen." Unquote. If you are here to listen, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the presentation created by Dr. B, which he has dedicated to the ongoing mission and success of the AI Salon. Ladies and gentlemen, please remember, Dr. B created this presentation without knowing how to read or write music. It is showtime. In a world we call reality, high tech is here to stay. AI is here, I know it. The game changer of today. It recreates reality, and its outputs are so slick. What once took hours takes minutes, and it only takes one click. AI is the future, it's what I came here to say. It triggers human progress, I am sure it's here to stay. It can make us all creative in everything that we do. It will open every portal to discover something new. AI writes and draws and talks, it paints and even sings. AI can create melodies with drums, guitars, and strings. It solves some complex puzzles, it will beat rivals in chess. It's the partner I would love to have, and I won't settle for less. AI triggered creativity, and it enhanced what I do. My key to exploration, and to discover something new. With research and critical thinking, and AI abilities, I could engineer the future using rake realities. AI is the future to cross chasms that are wide. AI helps build the bridges to unite the great divide. Scientists embrace AI and have won the Nobel Prize in physics and in chemistry. Yes, AI made them wise. Let AI help you artists and you songwriters too. Let's create some songs and music. Let's be partners, me and you. Let AI be our tool of choice. Is there anything more to say? To inspire your future music with the instruments that you play.
Nice. Beautiful. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for listening.
Beautiful. All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a fantastic evening. December 3rd. Be there. Bring a party hat. Thanks, everybody.
I'm bringing the nachos.
There you go. Bring the nachos. See y'all.
Bye.
Thanks,
everybody.
Yeah. Night, everyone.